What's going on, fools? Meaning my friends, my siblings in humanity. It's you and I here today, plus whoever else is watching this. At the same time or a different time. Doesn't really matter. Time is an illusion. Everything's just happening everywhere all at once. But I understand if you don't subscribe to that line of thinking. What am I here to talk about today? I don't know. I've been having a lot of fun visualizing, like in the last few weeks, because it's like your body can't really make the distinction. Your body, your mind's, your subconscious versus your conscious mind, subconscious versus delta wave consciousness, which you can reach if you're meditating or whatever. Maybe it's not delta. I forget what all the different waves are. Theta waves. It doesn't matter. It's like just different states of being. Um, So when you visualize, you can actually feel what it would feel like to be the person that you imagine you would be if you were happier. So like, or if you want to feel something specific, like being super rich. It's like if you meditate and you hit that state and you think about it, your body will recreate the feeling, the physical feeling of that wish being fulfilled. And then if you can carry that feeling throughout your day and remember like wow, like what I can remember this experience that didn't actually happen per se physically happen to me, like my body physically feels different and my mind feels different and my mental palette is like cleansed and now it's more focused on whatever you are imagining, not because I need that to be happy but because I created the state of being that I theorized that thing would give me. So that's pretty rad. I've been having a lot of fun doing that because like it's hard for me. Interesting, that's a definition. I define it as hard for me to imagine just having an incredible amount of wealth and what to do with it. Of course I'd solve the homeless problem and world problems that I can, like starvation and stuff. That would be awesome. So big wishes fulfilled, awesome. Society's on the right way, awesome. I mean, actually that seems like a pretty good goal. It's a lot of money, but if I had it, that's what I would do with it. But also, I feel more motivated, more invested by my friends. The idea of being able to give my friends like $1,200. They're like, oh, I'm going through this thing right now. It's going to cost me like this month, this much. For me, 1,200 to 1,300 is about how much I do in student loans each month. So I'm like, for me to be able to just give that to someone and be like, listen, it's my privilege. Like I have had great things happen to me. I live my life in a way that's very beneficial. Like I can just be myself and I make this money naturally, so I'm not so attached to it. It will come and go. This is for you. I really appreciate you. And this is a way for me to show my support in this very physically minded world. And to be able to do that, like I can feel the feeling of what that feels like right now. Um, and that's what I want. That's a totally different type of like wealth, like that generosity. I mean, for me right now, it's 12 to 1,300 bucks. But what if someone comes to me with like 10 grand? They're like, oh man, I gotta have this medical thing, and the expenses come out to 10 grand, which is less than many medical procedures nowadays. Um, I would be able to cover them, and that gives me an incredible feeling. Like, and then further than that, the idea of if my friend has a passion that they would like to pursue and I can help them do that, that would be something that would be awesome. And in their life, I'm someone that supports them unconditionally. Maybe not unconditionally. Maybe I would recognize whatever. It's not my judgment to make. Um, or we'll say, what other expenses could people have? Like they just need a place to crash. I've got a house so big I can just invite people over, and if I don't want to see them for 3 days while they're staying with me, I don't have to see them. It's that kind of house. A house so big, what I was imagining was like a murder mystery mansion type house, like big ass place. Like you've got all these different areas and like people that okay, I don't want a murder mystery to happen or anything, but I'm saying like, that kind of house. I guess it's interesting I imagine it that way. But yeah, so I would like to be wealthy. I am wealthy. The reality is that I have always had everything I needed exactly when I needed it, not a second later and not a second sooner. The more I think along that line of thinking, the more I appreciate my life. And like my one of my buddies is going through something right now, and I said something along the lines of like, you can only function with the knowledge you have. And if you combine both of those things, like the knowledge you have at the time of when you make that decision, when you combine both of those things, it's like, well, yeah, I mean, I made the decision that I thought was best at the moment, and I was just using the knowledge I had. And then you apply that to resources, and it's like, I had exactly what I needed. Like, I'm not dead. Like, all of my needs were met my whole life because I'm here and I'm still breathing. And I have this life, and there are things that you can get lost in this life if you focus on them too much. Because then that's what you're being. You're being a person who thinks about those things. Whereas you could be a person that thinks about other things and does other things. Everything's happening in perfect timing. I like to think about that. I think that's amazing. And any sort of resistance to that idea is a belief that something should be different. Often, even though like a law of the universe is that everything changes, right? Everything changes except the four laws, which is a particular set of laws. Often we insist that there be no change, even though change is a constant of the universe. It's the universe experiencing. To experience is a process. So you have to go from one state to another. You cannot remain the same, otherwise you would just be inert and you wouldn't see anything or experience anything differently. What am I going off about today? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Glad I made this. I had a few minutes and